Yo, so you want to start making samples and start selling kits. I feel like that's starting to become a really popular thing. I know that I followed the wave a long time ago to start making samples, and I've seen great success from it, and I want to continue working towards greater success. And I can see why that's very attractive to other producers like yourself that want to grow and become better and to give this a shot. I have some advice that I think you might find useful. So let's get started. So, what I think is a really good piece of advice when you're first starting out your sample library is to come up with something that you feel is original and that is unique to you. And I know that when I was coming up with Hijo De Ramon, I was looking for a sound that paid homage or that was kind of reminiscent of like those vinyl records that I was obsessed with, the old Spanish albums, the prog rock, the soul, and all the synth, like all the synth library stuff. I wanted to find something that kind of sounded like that, but in my own unique way. So when you first start out your brand, definitely try to find out what you're gonna sound like. That kind of sets you apart, because the last thing you want to do is put time and effort into samples that just sound like everyone else, which I know is really hard to do, but it takes time. And if you're really passionate about it, you're gonna find something that makes your shit sound like you and only you. So yeah, try it out. So the next bit of advice that I can give you is embrace the limitations. I know that when you're first starting out, it's really hard to grasp the idea of making amazing samples without having access to a real grand piano synthesizers, and all this amazing gear. You really don't need it. It helps, and that stuff sounds amazing, but plugins sound amazing too. And a lot of those plugins that emulate like the vintage synthesizers, like the Arteria stuff, it's really hard to go wrong with that, and I feel like it's enough. So don't be scared of creating amazing work if you don't have the amazing gear. Trust me, you can make amazing sounding samples in the box. It's possible. So another piece of advice that I want to share with you guys is the fact that you need to recharge. I think as a creative or as a hustler, we like to preach that team no sleep, or being in the studio all fucking night and not getting any sleep, not eating, not going out getting sunlight. To be honest, that's counterproductive. You're not going to be creative. At least for me, the way I like to recharge is going out for a beer, hanging out with my girl, getting coffee, going for a walk. I think getting fresh air and being away from being creative is a great way to recharge. And also too, since you're making samples, I highly recommend that you dig. Like, seriously, dig. Go look for records. Find the shit that people were sampling back in the day and use it as study material. I know that it's kind of being a dead horse a little bit if you want to just remake a soul sample that's been done a million times, but there's little gems inside this wax that you're not going to find anywhere else. I feel like I literally can say that I built my entire brand off of collecting wax. The inspiration off these prog records, these synth records, these library records, like literally my inspiration comes from this. So I highly recommend that you go in and pick up a few pieces of vinyl, listen to it, study it, and just get familiar with like the format and like the platform that we're all inspired by in this community. So another really good piece of advice that I want to give you guys is building relationships. Basically, if you're making amazing samples and you're sending them out to people, you want these people in return to start using them, right? So be a good person, treat people with respect, and build relationships. Producers, whether they're at the very top or at the very bottom, they're all people. Don't treat them like shit. I feel like, because you never know who's gonna blow up next. And also, you just don't want to be an asshole. At the end of the day, you're making samples. You're not God's gift to the world, you know? So I feel like this whole sample community, I really appreciate it, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. And I want it to grow. So yeah, make amazing samples. Don't be afraid of limitations, and don't be a dick. So now that I'm thinking of it, consider this like a part one to a series that I want to continue. This video was kind of like done in a rough way. I had the idea this morning. I figured I'd give it a shot, and I just wanted to provide some advice. One last little bit of advice that I can probably offer is consistency. And the reason I bring that up is because that's advice that I could follow. I feel like I'm not as consistent as I want to be, and compared to other guys out there that are killing it, like the Rugged Collective, Audio Anthem with the Crate League, MTK, all those other guys, literally everyone else in this community is so fucking consistent. They're constantly dropping packs, and they're all amazing. There's no shortage of quality samples out there. I feel like I want to be able to continue to create packs, maybe a pack a month, every 2 months. That would be a plus for me, because I feel like my packs are kind of spaced out. So keep that in mind when you're developing your brand and you're creating your packs, is to think about how you can follow up the last pack with something great. Because I feel like that plays a huge role in your success. If you can drop a pack and then follow it up with something else within like a month, to keep your customers coming back and just to build your brand up. And trust me, the producers that you're sending packs to, they're constantly going to be asking for stuff, and I feel like they're never going to be satisfied. But that's what we're here to do, to make these samples and send them out. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. I wish you the best. If you have any questions, if you have any ideas for new videos, this whole YouTube thing is new to me, but I really want to see if I can continue to do this, be consistent with this. So help me out. Drop a comment, like it, share it, and I'll see you in the next one.